Hey everybody, welcome to the walkthrough for Chapter 8. Chapter 8 covers budgets and bank reconciliations. And so just like, we probably learned to budget in our own homes, make a plan for what we think we're going to receive in income and what we think we're going to spend in expenses. We do the same thing with our businesses. And so QuickBooks has a feature to help us budget. And then we'll talk more about bank reconciliation when we get there. But so again, we're just going to walk through the steps in the book. So of course, the book starts for Chapter 8 with the overview, and then we get into the section called budget creation. And the instructions start with: to create a profit and loss budget for the sample company, do the following. So first, open your internet browser, then go to your sample company, Craig's Design and Landscape Services. And now we're going to click on the gear item. So this is step 3. And then we're going to go to budgeting. You can see that right there. So it's going to bring up add your first budget. So we're going to click on add budget. It's going to bring us up this sort of budget page. And then we're going to click next. All right, so we're going to leave the default fiscal year, what it has, and type budget 1 as the budget name. I'm in step 5. Then we're going to click next. And now we're going to start putting in our budgeted amounts. So we click on the design income column. And then we'll type $3,000 in the January box. So that's step 7, to click on the design income row. And then step 8, type 3,000 in the January box. And then we're going to place our cursor right here where it says copy across. And we're just going to click that. And so that means we're budgeting $3,000 in income for the whole year. Okay. So that's step 8. Step 9, we clicked on it. Step 10, add additional monthly amounts in the January column for income accounts as follows: fountains and garden lighting. So right here, we think we're going to make $2,000 in January. Plants and soil, another $2,000. In real life, of course, you'd be making up these numbers, right? You'd be saying, this is how much I think we're going to make. Sprinklers and drip systems, 500. And installation, 300. And maintenance and repair was $50. Pest control services, of 100. Sales of product income, 1,000. And services of 400. All right, so here we are. We've projected all of these incomes for January, and then the total that adds up to is 9,350. So step 11, it wants us to copy across each amount entered for the entire year and click save. So it wants us to assume that we're budgeting for these amounts each month for the whole year. In real life, it may be like this, where you budget the same amount for each month, or you may have some seasonal items that you expect, to make money in some way during a given time of year and not every month of the year. So in real life, we're only limited by what we think is really going to happen. this company thinks that they're going to make $9,350 in revenue, in essence, per month. So for a total of $112,200 in revenue for the year. All right, so that was step 11, where I copied each amount across, and now I'm going to click Save. And again, we just did that so that we didn't accidentally like lose our data or something. So now we're going to scroll down the budget worksheet, and in January we're going to add some expenses. So we have cost of goods sold of 400. I'm on step 12, by the way. Advertising of 100. Automobile 500. Equipment rental of 100. Insurance. I don't like when it does that little weird thing when I scroll, but it's okay. Job expenses of 1,000. Legal and professional. Let's see, there's legal and professional. 950. Maintenance and repair. 900. Rent or lease. 800. Utilities of 500. And miscellaneous of 3,000. All right, so there we go. We've got all our expenses in there. And so it looks like we're expecting total expenses of 5,100 plus total miscellaneous expenses of 3,000. And so our revenue of 9,350 minus our expenses of 8,100 is going to give us a total net income of 850 for the month. Now it's going to tell us to copy across each of those expenses that we just entered. So again, we'll just come in here and click the copy across button. Our internet's a little bit slow. So. All right, so now we can see our totals here that are, let's see, our total revenue for the year, 112,200 minus our total expenses gives us a total net income for the year of 10,200. A couple of features that they have in here that you won't, that the book doesn't necessarily tell you about is you can collapse these categories. So like we have maintenance and repair, and we have lots of different items in there, but we can collapse them down just to see the larger category if we want to. And then we can always expand them if we want to see more detail. So especially for those ones where there might be multiple items. Sometimes that just makes everything easier to see. So that's a nice feature. I'm not sure why it's doing this thing where it, or when I scroll, it leaves a whole line there, but I'm going to just X out of it, and then I should be good. All right, so that was step 12, and now we will hit step 13, which is click Save and Close. And we've created our budget for the year. So that's nice. So that's the end of the first section, budget creation. And next we'll move on to the second section, which is budget reports. So here we are on section 2 of chapter 8, budget reports. QuickBooks has 2 basic budget reports. There's a budget overview and what's called a budget versus actual. So what it sounds like, the budget overview to show you your budget, and the budget versus actual will show you what you budgeted versus what you actually brought in revenue and spent in expenses. So step 1 of this section tells us to continue where we left off, and so that's where we are. So step 2, we're going to go to reports. And then the type of reports we're going to look for are budget reports. You can see down here in business overview, you can actually see the budget overview and the budget versus actual report. So we're going to select the budget overview report. And then we're going to scroll up a little and hit customize. We're going to click on, we're going to go down to rows and columns and select account versus total. And then we're going to click run report. So that just shows us our accounts and their totals. It also tells us to click collapse if we want to view the collapsed budget. So see how this has everything all expanded out? If we click collapse, it's even cleaner because anything that has a 0 balance, in essence, it just collapses down. So in step 4, we're going to go back up to customize. And we're going to change the from and to dates to the current month and year. So I'm going to go let's see. So today for me, so I'm just going to do today's 9/21/2022. So I'm going to do September 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2022. And then here we can say we want it to be without cents, meaning it just shows dollars. Still accounts versus totals, still active rows. Then we're going to click run report. And you can see it now it's just for September. And it is just dollars, no cents. We're going to click step 8, save customization. We're going to type budget overview. And the custom report name. We're going to click save. Step 9, we're going to click reports again. Take us back to the reports menu. And we can't, like, I just scroll down to find budget. We could also find budget by typing it in up here. And this time we're going to choose budget versus actuals. So it brings up this big budget versus actuals report. I'm going to click collapse. Again, that just cleans it up by shrinking down any of those sub accounts. And now I'm going to customize this account. Again, I just go up here and click customize at the top. So that's step 11. Step 12, we're going to change the from and to dates to the current month and year. So again, last time I used the calendar to search it. This time I'm just going to go 09/01/2022. So I'm going to type it in there. and then 09/30/. So you can type it or use the drop down. So that was step 12. And then for rows and columns, I'm going to select account versus total. I want to click without cents. And then I'm going to click run report, step 14. So now you can see for some reason though, mine didn't bring in those numbers because it didn't like September. So mine didn't have any actual numbers in here, except for $34 in the automobile expense. But you can see how that would compare the actuals versus actually what you budgeted. I'm curious. I just wanted to see this. So if I did all dates and run report, now you would see this is for the whole fiscal year. So that's nice. You can adjust the dates, whatever you want to see the information you want. And this tells us your budget amount should match the figure, but your actual amounts will be different since the actual data changes based on when you are using the sample company. That's why it was different. All right, we can click Save Customization if we want to. Well, it tells us to. And then we're going to type budgets versus actuals and click Save. And that's the end of the second part, budget reports. It tells us to sign out of the sample company. We can do that, or if you want, you can just move on to the third part, the bank reconciliation, which we'll be doing next. All right, so here we are with the third part of chapter 8, bank reconciliation. So a lot of people don't even reconcile their bank accounts anymore. When I was a kid, I was taught to do it by hand. There was a little worksheet on the back of my bank statement. And in essence, all it is a process of matching up your books where you've recorded things with your bank account, your actual bank account, so that you can make sure you don't have any outstanding checks in there, checks that you've written but have never cleared the bank, or deposits that you've made but have never showed up on the bank statement, or things like that. You're just checking for errors and making sure that what's on your bank account matches what's on your books. Well, QuickBooks has a feature that will kind of do that for us, which is pretty awesome, actually. So here I am in the section called Bank Reconciliation. And the first step is to open our internet browser and then go to our test drive account. So that's where I'm at. Step 3, we're going to click the gear icon and we're going to go to Reconcile right here under Tools. This takes us to this intro screen where we're going to click step 4, Get Started. This says to click Maybe Later, but we're not getting that. So instead, we're just going to click on Let's Get Reconciled. That's different than Let's Get Physical, right? That's just a song from, like, I don't know when it was, the 80s, early 90s, totally different. So it'd be like, let's get reconciled. No, it doesn't work. I doubt like Bank of America will be using that anytime soon. All right. So here we are at the Reconcile an Account page. So I'm moving on to step 5. Type the last day of the month prior to your current system date as the ending date. So I'm going to say the last day of the month prior to today. So today is 9/21 for me. I'm going to put in, let's see. It's going to tell me what to do. Oh, there it is. So my ending balance, I'm going to put in 1,026.41. And then the ending date, since today is 9/21/22 for me, I'm going to put in 8/31. So the end of the previous month. So in real life, you would have to put in the ending balance of the month you were reconciling. Okay. So I'll hit start reconciling. That's step 6. And it brings up our reconciliation window. Okay. And so the process of reconciliation, again, in real life, we'd be looking at our bank statement. I feel like it's trying to give us little helps and they're actually in the way. We'd be looking at our bank statement and comparing these entries with this represents our books, right? What we've recorded in our books. All right, so right now we have a statement ending balance of 1,026.41, a beginning balance of 5,000. So we've got a difference of negative 3,973.59. So step 8 says, after a review of the company's most recent bank statement and a comparison with the company's checking account, you discover some checks and payments recorded in the checking account that did not appear on the bank statement. So meaning we wrote checks and payments, that we received payments that have not yet cleared the bank. That happens all the time. You give a check to somebody and they don't deposit it yet or something like that. So, or maybe you deposit your money in the account, but the statement date's already passed, so it's not on this bank statement. So we're going to click the payments tab right here. We're going to look at all these payments, and then it says, place a check next to all checks and payments except for check number 13 to Hicks Hardware. So this one right here. And check 75 to Hicks Hardware right here. And check 76 to Pam Sites. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So I think the easiest way to do this for me is this little button up here will let us select all. I'll say yes, select all, and then I'll just go to those 3 transactions that haven't yet cleared my bank account. So check 13 to the hardware store, and I'll unclick it. And then check 75 to the hardware store, Hicks Hardware, and I'll unclick that. And then check 76 to Pam Sits or Sites. All right, so that should be what it's asking me to do, right? It's select everything except for those 3. And I just thought it was easier to select all and then unselect those 3. If you want, you could just select all of them except for those 3. All right, so that was step 8. So step 9 says, after a review of the company's most recent bank statement and a comparison with the company's checking account, you discover some deposits and other credits recorded in the checking account that did not appear on your bank statement. So now we're going to click the deposits tab. And we're going to place a check next to all deposits and other credits except for payment 1886 from Cool Cars. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click select all. And then I'm just going to unclick number 1886 for $694 from Cool Cars. So that's the only deposit that's not showing up on my bank statement. Now check it out. My beginning balance was $5,000. Plus $6,550.94 and I'm sorry, minus $6,590.94 in payments, plus $2,577.35 in deposits, gives me a difference of 0. And that means we're reconciled, right? That it matches up. Our ending balance and beginning balance minus any payments plus any deposits matches up with our cleared balance. So awesome. We did our job. So that was step 9. Now on step 10, we're going to click the All tab. It says your account is reconciled as shown by the 0 difference between the statement ending balance and the cleared balance. Scroll down the listing of payments and deposits until a bill payment ref number 11 is located at the top of your payments and deposits listing. So bill payment reference number 11, there it is, right here. Be sure all the items referenced in the above step, checks and payments, as well as deposits, are properly checked or unchecked. Note the two items shown on your screen, a deposit of $694 and a payment of $215.66 that show in the figure below. You see that one and that one. These are two that have not yet cleared, meaning even though they're recorded in our books, we haven't seen them on our bank statement yet. So once we've reconciled step 11, once you've reconciled the checking account and a zero difference is displayed, click Finish Now, and then Done. And you did it. If we click History by Account, we'll see a summary of all reconciliations. You can see in our case, we only have one because this is the first one we did. We can click View Report to see our reconciliation report, which gives us a summary, beginning balance, minus checks and payments, plus deposits gives us ending balance, our uncleared transactions, and our balance in our register. So that was step 13. Step 14, it says click the printer icon and print it. You don't need to print this thing out, but you do want to save it as a PDF, and then you will be able to submit that as your assignment for use the proof that you completed the assignment. So this one, which is interesting, this report, if you check it out, it does not give us, oops, let me go back to QuickBooks. It doesn't give us like the little download option. You see that? So what you can do, another way of creating a PDF is you click on print, and then over here, you can tell Microsoft print to PDF. And when you hit print, it'll ask you where you want to save it. And then you can save it to wherever you need to so that you can upload it to turn in the assignment. Anyway, so there you go. That was chapter 8. I hope it wasn't too bad, and I hope it's valuable to you. And as always, if you have questions, don't be afraid to reach out.